Welcome to the Be Bold Sports Show. I am Adam. This is Aaron.
And we have a special guest today, Mr. Armand Ely, our fellow beloved Washington Redskins fan.
HTTR for life, baby.
Not everybody's perfect.
Chase Young, what can I say?
Hopefully we don't screw that draft pick up.
Burrow will go to the Bengals, Chase Young will go to the Washington Redskins. What can we say?
And welcome to episode number 2.
Post-Super Bowl.
Yes.
Let's get going with post-Super Bowl.
First question. What'd you guys think of the game?
That was an outstanding game. It was very competitive, action-packed. I didn't necessarily have a dog in the fight, but I was rooting for the Chiefs to win this thing. So very happy that the Chiefs won. Very happy for the Chiefs fans to win. I've been here in Kansas since the mid-'80s, and I've always been rooting for the Chiefs ever since I moved here, even though the Redskins are still my number one squad.
That's right.
It was a heck of a game. When the Chiefs got down 10 points, I didn't feel that they were that out of it. Maybe a little doubt because San Francisco has a better defense than the Titans.
Well, with 8 minutes to go.
Exactly.
Whoever would have thought they would have scored 21 points with 8 minutes left.
Hey, I thought it was possible because how long did it take them to come back from 24 down?
It took the second quarter.
5 minutes.
It took them 5 minutes.
Right.
So
5 minutes, 28
I'm sorry,
points.
10 points to me.
And then Tennessee, I think they scored 17 points in 4 minutes.
Yep. So there's just something to be said for the Chiefs and coming back from double figures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And especially doing it so fast. It's like they open up the floodgates, and that's how I felt with the 49er game.
I do got to get on one thing, though.
What's
and
that?
I heard it this morning. I love Mike Golick Jr., or not Mike Golick Jr., Mike Golick Sr., but my God, the fact that he thought Jimmy Garoppolo played a better game than Patrick Mahomes is beyond my freaking brain right now.
Maybe through the first three quarters.
Maybe.
But the fourth quarter was all Mahomes.
Right, but it's like we said in the first video. In order for San Francisco to win, who had to play well? I believed it was Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes.
Because you saw that they were consistent with the run game and they were successful, but it's that arm of Jimmy Garoppolo that you just don't know what to expect. And even though
it was 20-17. He had a wide open guy downfield.
Yeah,
what does he do? He overthrows him.
Right. But
that would have been the game right there.
I also think that was because of your defensive coordinator blitzing.
Yes.
And, I got to give your D coordinator some kudos because when you guys grabbed the lead there at the end, he did not sit back like most defensive coordinators do and play a prevent defense, or if you don't want to call it prevent, a little fallback defense. But he was aggressive and kept blitzing, and you saw what happened when he brought the blitz. He could not stand in that pocket, and his throws were absolutely horrible.
Yes.
So, anyway, I had to give him some props because I have not seen that before, because all the other times people just would sit back and play that prevent defense.
Okay, now here's the real question.
Yes.
Would this game have changed if that pass interference was not called in the first half, to end the first half? Because it would have been 13-10.
To be
San
honest,
Francisco comes out and gets the ball.
To be honest with you, it's the rule. I mean, you can't have a straight arm.
But the Saints got hosed.
I thought about
Rudolph
that.
Pushing off. That was more of a push off than George Kittle was.
Remember to text you guys through that thing. I honestly thought it was a weak call. In that magnitude of a game, it wasn't erroneous as the Kyle Rudolph play against New Orleans. It was just a little subtle, and I've seen worse not called.
Right.
I think the fact that he extended his arm
it was
what the
blatantly
refs saw.
obvious.
Yes.
Because even Gene Steratore said that on one of the shows, that the fact that he extended his arm is why they called it.
Yeah, and he kept it extended for like 1 to 2 seconds.
But if you were a Saints fan, how would you feel about that? The fact that Kyle Rudolph did not get called in that game.
I'm pissed as a Saints fan. If I'm watching that, I'm like, what in the world? Kyle Rudolph just blatantly pushed.
Exactly.
Hey, and that's 2 years. That's 2 years.
The Chiefs
in a row.
defender went like this, but that Saints defender went like this.
Do you realize that it's 2 years in a row for the Saints in the PI department?
Yeah, the Rams last year. That was blatantly missed.
Missed.
I mean, I don't
And
know how
then the
you.
Kyle Rudolph, basically.
And the guy that missed that call was the guy that reffed the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
His crew. So what does that tell you?
Oh,
Maybe they
Jesus.
had to call that pass
Yep.
interference because of last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I just, yeah, I don't know. I guess it did, change the game some.
yes.
But then again, you could also look at, when Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter, which led to a punt, I believe, or an interception, when he got the hand to the face,
Yes, and
they
they
didn't call
Right.
that one. I mean,
And I noticed there were several of them both ways that didn't call.
right.
I know Garoppolo took a couple. I know Mahomes took a few, and
Yeah.
none of them were called
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was happy at the fact that they were letting these guys play, and sure, there were some obvious ones that weren't called, but it was far and few between, So,
Here's another stat of the day I want to go over. Mahomes' QBR this year on 3rd and 15 or longer is 95.5. Guess what the NFL average is?
Like 30.
6.
Wow.
Wow.
6 is the NFL average. And Mahomes
And that-
is 95.5.
Hey, I can tell
That
you the
is
Redskins
crazy.
average is 0.
Oh,
No,
come on.
no,
Dwayne
Dak-
Haskins
Dak
will
is
change
about
that.
3 to
Haskins,
5.
Dwayne Haskins
know?
will change that.
Okay, it was 1 when he came in.
I'm sorry.
And now another funny
I'm
stat
sorry,
I heard
man.
it entered on the radio. We all love Kurt Warner, future Hall of
Yeah.
well, not future, but present Hall of Famer. His record, trailing by 10 plus points, was 2-44.
Good night.
Wow.
So 46 games he trailed by 10 plus points and only brought back 2. Mahomes is already 5-0.
I guess might as well give him the Hall
Do
of
we
Fame
put him in
right
the Hall
now.
of Fame? Or
Hey, well, hey. he's
According
al-
to Skip Bayless,
Hold on.
Dak Prescott
Hold
is
on.
better than Mahomes.
He's already been to 2 AFC championship games. He's already
and
been,
one of those with the terrible defense.
Exactly. And he's been to a Super Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl. Not to mention he
Super
got
Bowl
league
MVP.
MVP his first year.
And Super Bowl.
Super Bowl MVP. Okay. Oh, by the way, he's come back from 10 points,
24.
10,
Yes.
24. You might as well just give him the Hall of Fame right now. Why not?
Exactly.
Why not?
But they
I'll go-
was with his Kirk Warner
And
teams,
it-
they were so far ahead.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to give him the Hall of Fame right now, will the real $40 million quarterback please stand up?
Well,
I'll be my
Dak Prescott, please sit down.
oh, don't tell Skip Bayless that.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Skip Bayless would be
I
under your skin
forgot.
right now.
I
does
forgot.
he know?
Forgive me.
All right, now here's the real question. And I kind of went both ways on this. Should Damian Williams have gotten Super Bowl MVP?
Would you like to answer first, or you want me to?
You know, at first I thought it was going to be Damian Williams winning MVP, but I think what Mahomes did in that fourth quarter may have earned that spot because Mahomes' numbers weren't that great through the first 3 quarters.
Right.
No.
But you take a look, money time during that fourth quarter, who was the guy responsible for bringing back the Chiefs squad? Now, if they would have split the MVP, that was done in Super Bowl 15 with the Raiders, where I think it was Harvey Martin or someone else split the MVP. If they would have gone that route, I've been okay with that.
Yeah.
But, I have no issue with Mahomes. My first pick would have been Damian Williams, but
Right.
Mahomes being the MVP,
Right.
hey,
Too.
And here's my thought on that. It should still be Mahomes because if you take away that last run for a touchdown, he doesn't even get to 100 yards.
That is true. I
Okay.
did not think about that.
He does not get to 100 yards. Secondly, the tiebreaker is, for me, Mahomes was, he accounted for 3 touchdowns. Williams accounted for 2. Excuse me, guys. So, honestly, I think even though he struggled, okay, I still think it was rightfully so to give Mahomes the MVP.
even though when he struggled, he still
He
was
still-
able to come back
exactly,
and bring his team back to win.
Exactly. And, to really solidify the MVP thing, making the big play on 3rd and 15,
Yes.
and then leading
According
that
to
drive.
Skip Bayless, that was a lucky throw.
Blown
I'll get
coverage.
to, I'll get to
by-
That
that.
was a
I'll get
blown
to that.
coverage.
I'll get
Blown
to that in a
coverage by
second. I'll get to that in a second. But that drive, after he made that 3rd and 15, ended in a touchdown. So he already solidified himself as a guy. Hey, I'm bringing my team back. And no lead. Any team who plays the Chiefs with Mahomes at quarterback, whether he's got Kelsey or Hill, or if they leave, Doesn't matter. You cannot sleep on this guy.
And this was after back-to-back interceptions.
Exactly.
How
And
many
by the way,
quarterbacks can do that?
that second pick, I don't even blame Mahomes for that.
It was behind Tyreek
It
Hill,
was a
but
little
you are
bit,
told if it
just
hits
a
your
little
hands, you
bit,
need to
but
catch
it hit
Yes.
his forearms. And I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
if it's, on the forearm, the hand, receivers say,
Well, let's
hey,
just
if it
say-
hits your hands,
You-
I should have
you
caught
got
it.
it, yes.
Let's just
Exactly.
say Mahomes and Tyreek Hill had a terrible first 3 quarters. Because
Uh-huh.
Tyreek Hill had that trap that he should have had. Yes, it was a bad throw, but as a receiver,
Yeah.
you're expected to make those
Correct.
And
catches.
he's made those catches
And,
before.
and on that 3rd and 15 that Skip Bayless says was so lucky.
Okay, how many
Okay.
quarterbacks can throw off their back foot like
Correct, but at the same time, I mean, you don't quote me
One of
on
these
this,
retired.
but when I
Yeah.
saw the replay, if he threw it, like overthrew it or let him deeper, I think that guy, even though he semi got burned, would have came back and actually either knocked Tyreek Hill out of bounds or knocked it out of his hands.
that? Yeah.
But I feel that the placement of the ball was right where it needed to be. And, I mean, he made the throw. Duck, not duck. I mean, it still was him taking the hit after he threw it and placing it as he was getting hit in a perfect spot for his receiver to catch it.
Okay.
So, anyway.
All right. Another question. Who's to blame? 49ers defense or Kyle Shanahan's play calling late in the game?
I'm going to say Kyle Shanahan's play calling late
Because
in
what
the
was
game.
it, 2nd and 5, and you decide to pass it twice?
Yes,
2
sec-
incomplete
yes.
passes?
After a first down run, a 1st and 5, you run the ball there. The way your running game is going, you
Right.
probably get a first down there.
And
This is
again-
when it was 2017, I
It was
believe.
20.
And, and
17,
again,
the Chiefs
it
just
brings us back to the first video. I mean, what did we say was the key for the 49ers?
Garoppolo's
That-
got to play good.
Well, it's not just Garoppolo, but also trying to contain that. Well, I said 3-headed monster, thinking Brito was
Two
part
and
of it.
Debo. Mhm.
But we said Debo, and I said 2.5.
Yes.
But that run game, guess what? They were over 100 yards
And then you
that
decided
game.
to pass the ball
And then
twice.
for
Right.
some reason, after getting 5 yards, because had they just kept running it, and if you're averaging you're getting first downs, you're melting the clock.
That's the other key.
I mean, it boggles my mind that he did not stick to his strengths.
Because this is what I saw. Chiefs were down 20-10. You saw no panic in that team.
Right.
Because they're used to it. All playoffs,
Right.
all year long, they've come from behind. 49ers were up 3 with 6 minutes left. You saw panic.
Yes, you did.
Why do you panic when you're up by 3 points?
Yeah.
The stage, the
I
whole.
mean,
I don't know.
I think it's the whole stage of it being the Super Bowl. You're in a big stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's succumbing to pressure.
Right.
How
Yeah.
can you handle
And
that pressure? And the
even-
Niners did not handle that pressure well.
And even though Mahomes, people were putting pressure on him, I really wholeheartedly believe Garoppolo had more pressure on him than Mahomes. In fact, I don't even think Mahomes had pressure
Well, he was
here's-
sacked 4 times.
Well, he
Bosa
No,
had
I'm saying just
double-digit
making the right play. I'm not saying
pressures.
from the defense. I'm just saying from
Oh, you mean
feeling the pressure of the game.
Yeah, well, Mahomes never feels pressure.
No,
This guy came from 24 points
Exactly.
down. I mean, come on.
And 10 points down, it's like they've come back
Pressure with
before.
pressure. I strive on pressure.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Garoppolo being Tom Brady's understudy, they
Yeah.
have something to do with that, you know.
All I
Yeah.
gotta say is those 49ers fans out there that are putting on Facebook and Twitter that Chiefs cheated. How did they cheat?
how they doing cheat?
How did they cheat?
They're
trying to say the refs blew calls.
Hey, man, that's why I call them the San Francisco 40-winers.
I had a
Yeah,
friend
okay,
of mine
I'm sorry.
texting me like they have 2 blown calls. Like,
No.
what 2 blown
Yeah,
calls?
there were none.
Joey
Like,
Bosa was
no.
held, but there's a holding on every play that's not called.
yeah.
Hey, I'm a Redskins fan. Ryan Kerrigan's held every play that's not called. Jesus.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, since you mentioned Tom Brady's understudy, well,
Good
do you
segue.
think the cryptic commercial that we saw, you think he's retiring or coming back?
Will he be a Raider?
Well, first off, I think when he says that he's staying around. What was the quote?
Gosh.
I'm
I'm
not
not
going
done yet.
anywhere.
I'm not going
Sorry,
anywhere
I'm not
yet.
going anywhere.
Yes.
I think that means he's not done with the NFL, and I think that he'll be going to the Raiders. I mean,
I just don't see him coming back to New England.
I don't
think
either.
New England's moving forward.
yeah.
I think they have to at this
Yeah.
point.
Yes.
And you could tell they're kind of in a rebuild because that receiving core was awful. Yes, they did have Julian Edelman, but who else?
Right.
You know, I was a little disappointed in N'Keal Harry, the guy from Arizona State, and believe me, I am no fan of Arizona State at all. But the fact that it just boggled my mind that he would drop passes at the rate that he did. And then after that, you had Dorsett. Okay, I believe, is that
Philip Dorsett.
Philip
yes.
Dorsett? Yes. Philip Dorsett
relation to
just
Tony
kept getting
Dorsett.
injured.
Yeah.
I thought Dorsett would actually make an impact for him, and he started to do that in the beginning of the season, but then he kept getting hurt. You know, so then who else? You don't have Gronk anymore, and sorry, those tight ends they had were absolutely just horrendous.
Right.
So you're saying Brady is average
Uh,
with no weapons?
Yeah.
Now, would Mahomes be average with no weapons?
I don't think so. Because, you know, gunslingers make people better. In case in point, you look at Tony Romo, okay? Tony
terrible
Romo
receiving
created Terrence Williams. When Dak Prescott took over for him, where was Terrence Williams? He had just signed an extension with the Cowboys that first season with Dak as quarterback, okay? Guess what?
Miles Austin?
After a year and a half,
Right.
guess what? After a year and a half, guess what? They got rid of Terrence Williams. Secondly, look at Dez Bryant.
That was my second choice.
Could
right
could not utilize him. Okay. And I'm sorry, if you want to win, you need a gunslinger.
He
Yes.
plays to
win.
win the game.
Unless you have an outstanding defense like Tampa Bay when they won, then you can get by with a game manager. Hi, Brad Johnson. So, you know.
And you
So-
also need that solid running game because you take a look
Exactly.
with John Elway.
Yep.
Gunslinger didn't have a Super
Terrell-
Bowl ring until
Terrell
Terrell
Davis.
Davis came in.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, so it just case in point, I think Patrick Mahomes would be successful even if he did not have Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill. So, anyway,
All right.
Right.
Well, we're going to keep it short today because we got work. Hope you guys all
We're
enjoyed.
just away for a good time.
thank you guys for joining,
Hopefully
and please hit the
Armand
like
can join us
button.
on some more shows.
Yep.
Actually, it was a lot of fun. Thank
Yes.
Yep. Well, I'm glad you're here.
you.
Seriously, and I hope you guys actually heard us this time a little bit better. Anyway, if you like what you saw, please hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll catch
have
you
more
guys next
shows.
time.
All right.
All right.
This is Mamba out, baby.